Hi there, welcome to Yoga Nomad. My name is Karen, and before we start, I'd just like to say well done to you for deciding to make a start in your yoga journey, because it is magic. So all I will say to you at the start of this very first week, the very first session, is that just be kind to yourself. You know, it's not easy, and you're starting from scratch. So you might find that you're a little bit stiffer than you thought, that your flexibility is not as great as you thought it was. But we're going to work on that, and with consistency over time, you will definitely see some major improvements in both your body, so physically, but also in that mind. We're going to learn how to calm that mind down. We're going to learn how to use the breath, but we're going to take it nice and slow. So this first session today is all about the breath, and it's just all about that gentle warming up of the body, of those major joints. So blocks would be handy for your yoga sessions, especially if you are new, because they do help you get into some of the poses a little more easily. A cushion may also help. Take a cushion off the sofa. It doesn't have to be a particular yoga bolster shaped one. It can be any cushion. And we're ready to go. So nice comfortable clothing, maybe have a drink to hand, although we're not going to be doing anything too energetic for this first session. This is how we are going to start though, this seated position, and this may not work for you. So sometimes, when was the last time you sat like this? Maybe it could have been years ago when you were in school. So if this doesn't feel right, and it's quite normal for this not to feel right, maybe sit on a block, sit on a cushion, because that way your pelvis tips forwards a little bit and it does feel a little bit more comfortable. So just figure it out. Where does it work for you? And that is what yoga is about. It's all about what feels right for you and your body. Not what it looks like, not what the person next to you looks like. It's about how it feels for you. So find your comfortable seat, whatever that may be. As long as shoulders are drawn away from the ears, the spine is nice and long, so you're sitting up really tall. And let's see if you can close down the eyes. Notice how that body feels. So notice if you've got any aches and pains anywhere, any tension. Check in with the face, making sure you're not clenching that jaw. So separate the teeth and move the tongue from the roof of your mouth. So let that whole face soften. Now begin to notice your breath. Don't change it just yet, just notice your natural flow of breath. Okay, now just check on that posture, make sure you've not started to slump. Sit up tall. We're going to now start to deepen the breath. So you're going to close down the mouth and we're going to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. And what I want you to try and do is find that 3-part breath, your deep yogic breathing. So the 3 parts where you should feel the breath, if you are breathing deeply enough, are the belly, the chest, and up into the collarbone area. Now you might not feel it. You know, it might take you a few sessions for you to get that breath deep enough, but we've got to start somewhere. Okay, so close your mouth, big deep breaths in and out through the nose. Breathe as deeply as you can, slow it all down. There is no rush, there is no pressure. Breathe nice and slowly. Just a couple more. Nice. Now bringing your breathing back to normal. Making sure you're sitting up nice and tall again. And first of all, we're going to have a little look at what's going on in the neck. So drop the head to one side, dropping the ear towards the shoulder. Pulling the shoulders down, finding that stretch in that neck area. Take a big deep breath in and out through the nose. And another one, big breath in and out. Nice. Now rolling the chin all the way down to the chest. Go really slow. And take the head all the way over to the other side, making sure you're still sitting up tall and the shoulders are still drawn away. Ear drops towards the shoulder. Take a big breath. Take one more. Nice. Now rolling the chin all the way down to the chest. And this time tucking the chin right into the chest, and then take 2 big deep breaths here, stretching all the back of the neck. Nice, lifting up the head, and then we're going to look all the way up to the sky. Take 2 big breaths here. Bringing the head back to normal. Turn and look over one shoulder. And then turn nice and slowly and look over the other. And back to the center. Nice. Okay, moving into the shoulders. So hands on the knees. We're going to take some shoulder circles, taking the shoulders back and down. So making those circles as big as you can with those shoulders, noticing if there's any restrictions here, any clicking going on. And then change direction, bring the shoulders forwards. And again. One more. Nice, and then just give them a little wiggle out. And then let's have a look into the wrist area. So we're just going to take some circles. Again, noticing how tight these wrists are, noticing again if there's any clicking going on, changing direction. Nice, and then make fists with the hands so tight as you can. And then open up the fingers as wide as you can. And again, hug those fingers in and then out. And again, hug in and out. Nice, shake out those hands. Hands come down to the knees. Now we're going to move into the spine area and the hip area. So moving the body all the way around. Go nice and slow. Don't rush anything. And making these circles as big as you can. And all the time, paying attention to how your body feels, how it's responding to all these movements. And don't forget to breathe. Hardest part about yoga. Okay, change direction, let's go the other way. Is remembering to find that all-important breath. And yoga does actually mean union, the union of the breath and the body. So those two things together, when they are put together properly, create magic. I promise. Nice, coming all the way to the center. Lovely, big breath in, reach all the way up. And then as you breathe out, bring one hand down and reach over, finding that side body stretch here. Take a big deep breath. Now make sure here, both bum cheeks are on the ground, so you've not lifted that bottom off the ground. Stay connected. If you can, straighten out this top arm and maybe look underneath this armpit up to the sky. Notice the feeling, the sensations here. Okay, we're going to inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, all the way over to the other side. Reach. Remembering one side may feel completely different to the other. Straighten out this top arm, keeping both bum cheeks down. Maybe, if it feels good, if it doesn't, don't do it. Look underneath this armpit, up to the sky. Take a big breath. Nice, now inhale, come all the way back up. Reach both arms up. Palms together, bring the hands to heart, breathing out. Lovely. Okay, moving on to all fours. Now, being on all fours can create some tension in the knees. So if that's the case, maybe a rolled up blanket or towel underneath the knees would help. You can buy knee pads. They do help. So if you need something under those knees, then use it. It's all about finding what works for you. So when you're in your tabletop position, make sure wrists are under the shoulders, those knees are hip distance apart, so everything is in line. So we're now going to move onto that spine. So drop the belly, lift your head, tailbone tucks up. This is called your cow pose. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to move into cat. So now we're rounding the back. You're tucking the chin into the chest and you're going to push that mat away as much as you can. Now inhale, come back up to that cow pose where the belly drops, the head lifts, the tailbone tucks up. And exhale back to your cat. And again, inhale, come up. And exhale, take it back. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale as you lift. And exhale back. Nice, bringing your spine back to neutral. Then we're going to just lift up the feet from the ground and take some circles with the ankles. Again, noticing any restrictions here. Change direction. Nice, feet come down to the ground. We're going to now find our child's pose. So bringing your big toes together, taking your knees wide, sink the hips back as far as they'll go, and then send the arms out as far as they'll go. If you can, resting the head down on the ground. So you'll find some sensation here in the hips, maybe in the arms, in the shoulders. Take a big deep breath. See if you can push those hips back a little bit further, but again, don't force anything. We're just figuring it all out. We're just warming everything up and see what's going on. Take another breath. Nice. Now we're going to thread the needle to warm up into the shoulder area a little bit. So you're going to slide your right hand underneath your left arm. The top of the hand is to the floor, and then turn your head onto the side so you're on the right temple. So the side of the head, the right side of the head is on the ground. So you should have no pressure in that neck at all. Now you've got an option here now to maybe lift up this left arm and just drop it behind the lower back. If that doesn't feel good, keep it exactly where it was. Take a breath. And again. Nice, then come all the way back up. Slide the arms out in front, back to that child's pose, push the hips back, and then we'll do the opposite side. Left hand slides underneath that right arm, top of the hand to the floor, left side of the head to the floor. Option to raise up that right arm and let it drop behind. Again, if it doesn't feel good, keep that hand on the ground. Take a big breath. Nice, okay, start to unravel yourself, coming all the way back up to your tabletop position. Everything is in line. Now we're going to work into a pose called puppy pose. So this is a pose that's going to stretch all the way down into the arms, all the way down that back. And again, if it doesn't feel good, get that blanket under those knees if the knees are suffering, or a blanket under the head. You can keep the forearms down on the ground, and I'll show you that in a moment. So to get into your puppy pose, walk the hands out as far as they'll go. Keep these hips up high. When the hands won't go any further, you're going to lower your chest, maybe the chin to the ground. Now if that doesn't feel good, forehead down is fine. Or come up onto the forearms a little bit and just rest the head down. So figure out which variation works for you. We're just going to take a couple of breaths, that's all. One more. Nice. Now push into the ground with the hands, lifting yourself up, walk those hands back in. And from our tabletop, we're going to move into a standing position, a standing forward fold. So bringing the legs together, tuck your toes, hands walk in, and see if you can bring yourself up onto those feet. Hands stay down to the ground. Find a forward fold. Now, legs don't have to be straight, but I want you to try and get your chest on the thighs. So you need to bend your knees as much as you need to get the chest on the thighs. Let the head relax, let the face relax. Take a breath. Now notice here if you've got all the weight in your heels, if you feel like you're leaning back into the heels, and we want to try and distribute the weight a bit more evenly between the back of the foot and the front. So we want those toes to do a bit of work. So grip the mat with your toes and find that sensation of maybe just slightly tipping forward so you've got full distribution between the feet. Take a breath. Nice, and then you're really slowly going to start to roll all the way up to stand. Take your time. Nice, so you're coming, standing up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed. Take a big breath in and reach the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together, breathing out as you draw the palms down to the heart. Well done. Session 1 done. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, jump onto session 2 and keep that momentum, keep that consistency going. I'll see you soon. Namaste.